Okay, we'll start the session. Hello and a very good evening to everyone. I, Akanksha Matpati, Content Chief at RAITACM, welcome you all to the fourth day of Code Jam 2022. I hope yesterday's session was pretty clear and you all enjoyed it. Today we will learn app development using React Native. Today's session will be taken by our guest speaker, Mr. Mukesh Fulvani. I would request everyone to keep this session interactive and fun. Over to you, sir.
Thanks for having me here. So I'll start the session. So from starting from today, we will start creating a project. We will build a actual application using React Native. So before we do that, first let me share my screen. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, let me know if my screen is visible. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. So before we start building our application, anyone has any question or doubt? If you feel like you need a little more uh, revision on any topic, or if you feel any topic you are not confident in, you can tell it. We will go through that first before creating an application. Regarding installation, hope everyone has installed the React Native or Expo using Expo on their system. Anyone has any question regarding installation, or if they are facing any issues? Okay, so I'll assume everyone has done it. So I have this empty project created that I did on the day first. I'm starting with that. Okay. Uh, so I'll remove this boiler code from here. I'll get rid of the style sheet also. Maybe I can write text. Okay. So I'll start with creating a component, or I will create a new folder in my VS Code. I will give it a name, let's say screens. And I will create here component home screen.js. Okay, so in my VS Code, I have one extension installed, that is React. If I search React, here it is. If you don't have this installed, you can install it. So this will help us generating the boiler code. So now here I will type RNF, and here you can see I'm getting session, and if I select it, the boiler code will be generated for me. Okay, so this is our home screen, and let me import this component in my app. So I can import. So see, VS Code is giving me sessions. I will click and this will get imported. Yeah, here we can see home screen. Perfect. So so what we are trying to do here is, first of all, let's say in our home screen, what we will have in our home screen. So what we will do is we will create cards on the home screen. Maybe we will show user details in our home screen. We will have different cards, and that in each individual card will have a user detail. Maybe a profile picture of a user and a name of the user. So I'll create a constant here. Let's say users, which will be an array, and inside that, let's say I'll have object. Inside the object, I can create, let's say I'll have a property called as ID. It will be 1, and let's say it will have a name, and it will have, let's say, an image. So for now, for image, what we can do is we can go to Unsplash and we can pick a random image. Let me know if I'm going too fast. You can ask any query if you have at any point. Okay, so I'll open this image and I will copy image address. Okay. Control V. So I'll add a comma here. I'll duplicate this. I'll shift down key. I can select and then I can press I'll shift down key. It's a shortcut to duplicate it. Okay, so I can give here ID2, ID3, and name, let's say image we can keep same for now. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to iterate in this array. So we have this array of object. So each individual item in this array is an object. So you know that object is a data structure in an array, data structure in JavaScript which stores the data in key value pair. So we have key values. Okay, so we need to iterate in this. This users, I will cut this user actually from here. I should do it in home screen. Yeah, I'll do in this home screen component. Yeah. So in order to iterate, we will be using map method from JavaScript. So now I want to inject JavaScript inside my UI component. So for that, I will use these brackets. Now I can write JavaScript code inside here. Okay, so we can use these curly braces to inject our JavaScript code. So in this users array, we have map method. So map method will help us in iterating in the list, and it also returns whole new array. So our array will get printed on our screen. Okay, so we will get individual item in here. So map takes arrow function as an argument. So we learned about the arrow functions on the day one. So in this item, we will get individual items. So on the first iteration, we will get this item. On the second iteration, we will get this item. In the third iteration, we will get this item. So what we want to do with this individual items. So let's say maybe we can return a view and let's say inside this view we will have first image. So I can import image component from React Native, image and I can self close it, and image we have to give it a source, and source will be equal to, so this is a online image, so source takes an object, and inside that object we will have a property URI, and the value of that will be, so each individual item we have image property. From item we can access image, img, like so. Okay, and then we will have, let's say, a text. We can use text component to output text, and inside here we will show from item we can access name, like this. Okay, let's save this and let's see how it looks. So for some reason this image is not getting loaded. Maybe I have to give little style to this image. Okay, we will do that. Okay, so we will create a style sheet below. I can write const styles. We can give inline style as well, but that will make our code a little messy. So we can create a style sheet below on the bottom. So for that, we will import style sheet component from React Native. Well, this style sheet is actually not mandatory to have. We can directly have an object like this. and inside object we can have our what we call it as our, let's say, icon, maybe our own property. And to this icon, let's say I can give width, but there's a problem. When I'm typing my CSS, I'm not getting sessions. So this style sheet is basically needed, let's say, if you want a suggestion, or if we have any error, if we have made a typo. So React Native can recognize that, yeah, here is the mistake. So that's why we use a style sheet, and it's recommended. Okay, it's not compulsory to have it, but it's recommended. So I'm not getting session. See, I'm not getting session. So I'll import style sheet, and I will use the create method, and I'll add a parenthesis here. Okay, like so. And I should get session now. There you go. Width, and let's say width will be 80 units, and height also, let's say 80 units. Now I can give this a style to this image. Style will be equal to styles, and from styles object, again this is an object. From object we want to access the property, so we can write here styles dot icon. Save this, and there you go. We got a beautiful image and then name also. All right, awesome. So now I will explain you a little bit about the layout system, that is Flexbox. See, React Native by default uses Flexbox for its layout system. So if you want to align content on the screen, we will be using Flexbox for that. Okay, what I want now here. See, if you can notice, we have this image and we have this text, but this content is getting aligned vertically, that is in y-axis, right? Because the default direction is in mobile, the flex direction in mobile is in y-axis, is vertical, and that makes sense, right? We like to see the content in vertical direction only. In web, in case of web, the default direction is horizontal, that is in x-axis, but in case of mobile, the default direction is in y-axis. Okay, we'll talk about that. So this is the view, right? This is the view, and this view has this image and the text. Now these two items are getting aligned column wise, that is in y-axis. Okay, I want these two items to get aligned row wise, that is in horizontal direction, right? So here I'll add a style. So let me add an inline style, and then we will convert it into this. We will add it in below here later. Okay, to add inline style, we need two brackets. Again, one bracket to inject JavaScript and one bracket to add an object. That's why two brackets. Okay, so whenever we write inline style, we use these two brackets. Okay, so so default direction is column. Okay, let's change the default direction. So I'll write here flex direction, and I will write let's say row. Let's save this. The moment I do this, you can see now the content inside this view, which is we have two items, they are aligned row wise. Okay, yeah, we did that. Now I want little spacing. Okay, let's say we do not have enough spacing. First of all, I will increase the font size. Okay, I can see this font size is very small. I can create an object here, font maybe font, let's give it a font only name, and let's say we will have font size of 20 units. I will write here maybe text style, and I will give here else and text style. Let's say this. Yeah, now this is a little bigger. Okay, so now I want little spacing. Okay, so I want my content to align in a direction which I have set. So I have set row as a direction, So I want to align content row wise. I want to give spacing row wise. For that, I will use justify content. Justify. So justify content will align the items in a direction that we have specified. So we have specified row, so it will add spaces in a horizontal way, that is in a row wise. Okay, so we have couple of options. We have, let's say, center. Let's see what that do. Yeah, it centers the content. You can see in a row wise. We have, you can experiment with all the different options we have here. We can maybe give, let's say, space around. Let's see. Okay, it has added spacing. Space evenly if I can add. Okay, so that's how we can, use Flexbox to align the content. Okay, we will learn more about it later. Okay, but for now, okay, let's first write this style below. Control X, and I will here create maybe a card view, and Control V and a comma here. Inline style basically makes our code little messy. We should keep our code clean. So for that, we should write styles on the bottom. Okay, so now I can here write styles. Oh. I can here use my style object, and from here I can import card view. Oh, I can use card view. Yeah, okay, so this was fine, but I do not want to align this in this way. I want my image on the start, and then I want little spacing, and then I want my text. So for that, we can maybe in card view we can add a little margin to add a space from all the sides. So maybe margin, let's say 3 units maybe. Let's see how it looks. Oh, typo. Okay, I can barely see it. Let's increase it. Perfect. And yeah, we have to give flex direction row. Yes, that we need flex direction row. Okay, and to text. Now to text, we will give margin. We will give it a margin from a left side. Okay, so to text, we can give margin left, and that will be 20 units. Let's see. Okay, perfect. So anyone has any questions so far? I hope everyone is able to understand. Am I going too fast? Prashant, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Yeah. Okay, so anyone has any questions so far regarding any of the syntax that we have used so far, or any of the topic you feel that you are not understood this point? So far it's simple. We have a normal variable. This is, in fact, this is even not a state variable. We will see why we need state on the first place later. And we are just iterating it, and we are outputting the content. These are basic styles. Okay. Now let's make this image little rounded, right? Yeah, so for that we can add maybe border radius, I guess. Yeah, border radius. So to make it perfect circle, so we can see we have given width of 80 units and height of 80 units. So we can make a half of it. We can use 40 units to make it the perfect circle. Okay, so half of 80 is 40. So we can, let's try giving it 40. It should make it circle. So now image is circular. Perfect. Okay, so what we will do is later we will need a UI library in our project. Okay, so I do not want to write too much of the style related code. So for that, first of all, what I'll do is I will kill my development server. Yeah, I'll kill my development server by pressing Control C, and I will install a library that is React native paper. So this is basically a UI library. You can search on Google, React native paper. So this is a UI library which we can use. So it uses Google's material design. So material design is a design technique, or we can call it as philosophy, that is developed by Google, which makes our UI beautiful. So this React Native paper uses that. Okay, so we can click on get started, and we can type npm install react native paper. Control C, and I'll open my terminal. Okay. I think Control C. And will take a little while. If you want to learn about the components, you can visit the official documentation, and they have given so many examples. You can obviously go through the documentation to learn about any of the component. Okay, it's done. So again, to start the development server, I can type expo, or I can type npm run and run it in an Android. So these scripts are written in package.json. So you can see in package.json, if you want to run it in Android, if you want to run it in a web, you can type npm run web. So those who have low-end machine, if you don't have emulator, let's say, and you want to test it, you can type npm run web. So your application will start running on the web. But web is buggy, so I don't recommend it using it. And you can always use your real device. You can scan QR code and your app will start running on your real device. So that's the always recommended way to use your real device. Yeah. Still my development server is starting the app. It's taking too long. Okay. So we are getting one warning, that is, so whenever we are iterating in the array or in the list, we can say, so it's saying that to each item we should give a unique key. So it's saying that key prop is missing basically. So what we can do is, whenever we are iterating it, we can give this item a key just to get rid of this warning. This is not a mandatory step. So you can give this key, and the key can be item, and key will be unique. So we have ID that we have given to this individual items, right? So we can use this as our key. So I can write item dot ID as my key. Let's save this. Okay. So now warning has gone. Okay. So what I'll do is, I'll duplicate it couple of times. Okay. And I will make this ID unique. Let's say 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's save this. Okay. Now if you yeah, these two have same key, so maybe I can write 10. Let's save this. Okay. You can see we have one problem here. So we have a huge items. Okay, so we have huge items and we are trying to render it on our screen, but there's a problem. We are not able to scroll it. I'm not able to scroll it. If my content is going out of my screen, I should be able to scroll it, right? Now there is a problem. If we use map that we have used, we cannot scroll the content if the content goes out of the screen. So in web, in React.js, we use this way, using map. That is completely fine in React Native as well, but we are not able to scroll it. If we want to scroll it, what we can do is we can wrap this content in a scroll view. So we have a component from React Native, it is a scroll view. So we can put all the things inside scroll view, like so. Control X and Control O, Control V. Okay, let's save this, and now we should be able to scroll. Let me reload this. You can see we are able to scroll now. Okay, so by default, if we use map, our content is not scrollable. So we have to use scroll view. So this was one problem of using map to output the content. And there is one more problem. Let's say if our list grows, if we have a huge list, then we may get a performance issue as well. So what the team of React Native has done, they have created a special component to do this task. Okay, to do this task. So so the component is flat list. We can use flat list. So the flat list basically is used to do the same thing, but in a performant way. Okay, and out of the box, that content is also scrollable. So we do not require scroll view. Okay. So now I'll convert this code into flat list. Okay, so see what all changes we will have. Okay, first of all, let's say if this code doesn't look clean. Okay, it is okay to have this code, but let's say if we can make it little clean as well. Okay, we can create a function. We can remove this code and put it in a separate function, and we can import that function here, or we can call function as a component. So components are nothing, they are just functions only. Okay, so I can create a function here and I can give it a name, let's say render card. And okay, I can Control X, cut it and put it here, Control V, like so. So now we have this function, and now we can use it as a component. Let's try it. Okay, if we can use it as a component. Scroll view we do not need, but right now we need for component first letter should be capital. Okay, let's save this. Can't find variable. Style sheet. Oh, I accidentally removed that style sheet as also. Okay. Can't find. Okay, my bad. Let me use it as a function, render with parentheses. Dishan, do you have any idea why we are getting this error?
We can try this now. I have sent in the chat. Like render item is equal to in JavaScript render item. You can take it as a function.
Uh,
The render item part.
that is using flat list. Now I'm trying to do it without flat list.
Acha, without.
Maybe we can. Again, it will be of no use if we do this way. Control X. Let me do it this way. It started working, but why it was not working earlier? So this is we have separated the logic from here to we can put it here, but this was using map. Okay. Okay. Or one thing which more we have done it in a better way is what we can do is there's one more better way to write code using map. Instead of using like this, I will render just an individual card, not all the cards. So yeah, and here I will pass an item as a argument, as a prop. And now here I can write users dot map and item it's working. Okay, leave that. Yeah, leave this. We will be using flat list, okay, to output the list of items. Okay, so we can use flat list. We can self close it, and it takes first the data as a prop. So in which array we want to iterate? We want to iterate in users. Okay, so first argument is that, and second is what we want to render. So it has a render item as a prop, and render item takes a function. Okay, it takes a function, and let's say we can give it any argument to this function. Let's say data. Okay, and what I'll do, I'll first of all console.log data to see what we have in this data. Okay, we will get error if we save it, but in the console I think I should be able to see the data at least. Okay, so now if you will notice here, we have a huge data logged. Okay, we have this object logged, and if you can see in the object, okay, so the data what we have logged, we have something called as item. Okay, so from this object we have this item, and we need this item only. Okay, we do not need these separators and these extra information which it has. We need this only item. So from this object we can access item by using again data.item, or we can directly destructure from this data. We can destructure item. Okay, yes, because we need this only, because this has the actual data, this has the actual this data. Okay, and for each item we will return our render card component, that is like this, render card, self close it, and we will pass a prop to this. So this expects item, okay, but not as a prop. So it here we should write props. Okay, and now here I can write item will be equal to item. Okay, so in this item we will get this individual item. Okay, and I'm passing it to this render card. So now from props we will have to write props.item everywhere, right? Props.item.image, props.item.name, or we could destructure it here. Const, we will destructure something from props, and we can destructure item. Let's save this, and we can get rid of this scroll view. First of all, we do not need this scroll view. Let's see if the content is scrollable. You can see still the content is scrollable without scroll view. Okay, so that's the advantage of here list. Or we could have done it in a more better way. Instead of writing this one line, what we could have done is, instead of this, we could have directly destructured the item from here only. This also works. And this code looks clean. Okay, we have clean code now. This is not messy. Okay, yeah. And okay, so we have, so when we are outputting that list of items, we should give it a unique key, right? So in case of map also, we gave it a key, and here also we can give it a key. Okay, so we can give it a key, and key will be item.id, let's say. But this is one way, or what we could do is, to give it a unique key, we can here add one more prop, that is key extractor. Okay, and again this is a function. It takes function as an argument. In function we will have directly access to individual item. Now this time we directly have access to item. We do not need to destructure. That's the syntax. Okay, and from that item we can access id, and id will be our key. ID will be key that will be given to all the cards. Okay, this line is completely optional. You can ignore it as well, but if you will not add this line, you will get a warning. But okay, it's so good to add it here. Yeah, so our home screen is looking good. Okay. So we will make this users array dynamic later, maybe tomorrow. I can reduce it. We will add navigation in our app maybe today or tomorrow. We will see that. Okay, I want this name to be on a center. Okay, first of all, we installed our React Native paper, and again we are not using it. Let's use it, right? I want this view turn into a card. Okay, we want a beautiful card here. So from that React Native paper, we can import something from React Native paper, and something is called as card. So we have card component, and what we can do is we can wrap our view with a card. RD and Control X, Control V. Let's save this. And I think we should add a margin also to this card. So we can write here card. Let's give it a margin of, let's say, 3 units. And I can barely see it. Let's increase the margin, 4 maybe. Or let me try 5. It is visible, but it's very low. I can see a border here. Let me add one more thing here. Let me add a to this root view. What I'm trying to do is I want to see a background. I want to see how much height this view is taking. For that I can add background color, let's say red. I think we can add an elevation. Let's see if this works. Elevation 4. And do you have idea why we are not able to see the shadow? Like, let me see. We have card. We increase the margin maybe. Or I should reload it. Okay, the reload was the problem. Okay, so sometimes this happens. So reload was actually the problem. Okay, I was trying different things, but reload was the problem. Okay. Yeah, so margin we can cut down to 3 or let's say 5. Yeah, we can see the cards. We have these cards. Okay. So this is looking beautiful. Okay, and in card view we can add margin, or we could have added padding also. Okay, padding is basically to add some spacing inside the cards. And in case of margin, I think I should add padding, or let's keep it as it is. So now this name should be on center. Okay, I want this name to be on center. How can I do that? How can I achieve that? Any guesses? Can you guys want to try how it will be done? Like, I want this text to be here, say on the center, all this text. How can I achieve that? See, right now we have this content and the direction is row. So that's why we have these 2 items aligned row wise. Okay. If we add justify content, it will add spacing in a row wise. Okay. So we want to center these items, but not in a row wise, in a column wise. So opposite of the direction that we have set. So we want to align the content in opposite direction. So for that we can use align item. Instead of justify content, we can use align items. And let's say center. Let's save this and boom, there you go. Now the text is in center. Anyone has any questions so far? So as yeah, are you guys following me? Like when I'm writing code, you should also do the code simultaneously. Or I think I should also provide this code also. Okay, so I'll provide this code. I'll host this in my GitHub and then I'll share the link. So far it's simple. So far it's simple. We haven't added navigation. We have not done any complex stuff. Dishant, you suggest should we add navigation today or tomorrow?
Navigation, we can have it tomorrow, right?
Mhm.
Now you can show that instructions and all. It will be we will be that read only instructions we will have to add now for accessing the contacts of the phone.
Mm. No, no, we will not access. We will create our
Which we are creating. Okay, then.
yeah. We will create our new contact application altogether. Hmm. So I can install it actually in advance. So we should not waste time in installing. It takes little time to install it. So yeah, I can install it right now, and from tomorrow we can directly start using it. So I'm on to the documentation of React navigation, and we need to install it first. So I'll copy this. So we have to follow the instructions from the documentation. So I'll copy this line of code and I'll kill my development server. Mm. And we need this as well. If we are using Expo, we need this as well. We need to install these things as well. And then, okay, that's it. Apart from that, let's say we have primarily three kind of navigations. Let me guides. Yeah, we have tab navigation, fundamentals, okay, API reference, navigators. Yeah, so we have primarily three kind of navigator that we use often. Okay, so one is just the stack navigator. Okay, and one is this drawer navigator. We have a drawer from here, and one is uh, bottom tabs. That is a tab navigation. Dishant, did you covered all these three yesterday?
Yes, all of the three were covered.
Okay. So we will be using, we can use any of those. You suggest what we will, I think that we should use Stack Navigator. That is straightforward and common. But I will show you how we can add drawer and bottom tabs in our existing application. So practically we can see that as well, yeah. In order to use any of the navigator, we have to install it separately. Okay, so let's say if we want to use a Stack Navigator, then we need to install it. So let's copy this, Control C, and I'll install this as well. So I think today's session we can wrap it up here. You guys can ask whatever question if you have any. I'm just following the documentation and I'm installing all the dependencies that are required, so that tomorrow we do not waste time in installing these. Yeah. Yeah, that's all we need. Anyone has any question?
But I think since there are no questions, we can conclude this session.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That's all
Concluding,
for-
I would like to thank Mukesh sir for his valuable time and imparting the knowledge to the students. I would like to also extend my gratitude towards the principal of RIT, Dr. Mukesh Patil sir, and HOD of IT department, Dr. Ashish Jadhav sir. Thank you all the participants for joining us. We will meet again tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Please complete the today's quiz that it is necessary for the attendance, and link has been put up in the chat box. Until then, keep learning, keep revising, and keep coding. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.